This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Husband loses wife on anniversary trip in Mobay car crash. A man is left overwhelmed with grief after losing his wife in a motor vehicle crash in what was supposed to be a happy occasion after they came to Jamaica to celebrate their anniversary. His wife, 55-year-old Donna Brown, her cousin, and her cousin's daughter also lost their lives in the incident, leaving another man a widower in the process. Both men were in the vehicle and sustained injuries, but their injuries were not considered as life-threatening. The husband was driving the vehicle when the crash occurred. "We were on our way back from Kingston going to the hotel when it seemed like the other person ran the stoplight," the shaken and distraught man told the news. They were in a Toyota Axio motor car with the 3 females in the back, while the 2 males were in the front. The cars collided as Brown tried to make a right turn, and the other car tried to proceed in the direction towards Falmouth. The women were flung from the vehicle and suffered a number of injuries and wounds, which contributed to their demise. He shared that he and his wife are Jamaicans, but reside in Winter Gardens, Florida. He said they came to the island on October 19 and has been celebrating their anniversary. They were to head back to the United States on October 27. Sandra Lee, 59, and her daughter, 25-year-old Savannah Lee, who also died, had joined the couple to celebrate the occasion with her husband. Brown managed to share that he was quite distraught at the event and at one point broke down during the conversation. He was soon whisked away by family members. The other driver, who was the lone occupant of the other vehicle, a Subaru BRX motorcar, is said to be in much better condition, having suffered minimal injuries. Reports are that he was on his way to Rose Hall at the time of the incident. Both drivers have since been warned for prosecution. According to a report from the local fire department in St. James, they received the call about 12:24 a.m. and responded with a truck and an ambulance from the Ironshore station. When they arrived, they found the injured on the ground. They managed to rush them to the hospital, where the women all succumbed to the injuries. From beggar to thief, 21-year-old accused of robbing elderly man of $125,000. A 21-year-old man accused of moving from a beggar to a thief has been charged by police following a recent incident in Mitchelltown, Clarendon. Police accused Louis Richards, otherwise called Tango, a construction worker, of robbing an elderly man who was kind enough to honor his request and gave him $500 a few minutes earlier. Richards, who is from Lewis Street in Mitchelltown, was slapped with a charge of simple robbery. It was reported that about 4 a.m., the elderly man was at a party in the district when he saw Richards, who asked him for $500. The police said the man took out a wad of cash and gave Richard the money he requested. Shortly after, the elderly man left the party on his bicycle. When he reached a distance, he looked back and saw Richards and another man on bicycles behind him. The police said that Richards rode up beside the elderly man, who stopped his bicycle. It is alleged that $125,000, a lighter, and a pack of cigarettes were taken from the man's pocket. Both men then rode off, leaving the elderly man unharmed, the police said. The man later made a report to the police, and following investigations, Richards was arrested and charged. Man dies after reportedly drinking weedicide, suicide suspected. A Westmoreland farmer is suspected to have committed suicide after he told his stepfather that he had ingested a weedicide. He was found dead at his home in Highgate District in Darlington in the parish on Saturday night. The deceased has been identified as 51-year-old Michael Beckford, otherwise called Billy. According to the police report, Beckford was seen by his stepfather vomiting and was asked what was wrong. Beckford reportedly told his stepfather that he drank some Guycott 200 weedicide. His stepfather allegedly took the substance from him. The report went on to say that later the same day, Beckford was discovered on the ground at the rear of his house, crying and complaining of abdominal pains. A green liquid-like substance was reportedly oozing from his mouth. A bottle of Guycott 200 weedicide was reportedly found beside him on the ground. The police were alerted, and on their arrival, Beckford was seen lying motionless. He was transported by relatives to the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Mom confirms the body pulled from sea in St. James was her daughter Anika Slickiana Townsend. The partially decomposing body of a woman that was retrieved from the sea in Redding in Montego Bay, St. James on Friday morning has been positively identified as popular Kingston-based social media influencer Anika Slickiana Townsend. Her mother, Joyce Smith, made the identification yesterday afternoon, the police confirmed. When contacted, Smith told the news that all I can say is that she was a good person, but I don't have any more comments at this time. 35-year-old Townsend, otherwise called Keon or Slickiana, resided at 11A Waterloo Road in Kingston 13, the St. James police said. They have named 33-year-old Roshane Patterson, otherwise called Chizzy of Prospect District in Hanover, as a person of interest in Townsend's death. Patterson is being asked to turn himself over to the Freeport Police Station immediately, and anyone with information is being asked to call the police emergency at 119, JCF tip line at 811, or Crime Stop at 311, the police said. One police source told the news that based on investigations, it is believed that Townsend traveled to Montego Bay via a shuttle bus and met up with someone. The police source said Townsend was reportedly recently seen with Patterson at a popular seafood restaurant in Sandy Bay, Hanover. Yesterday, the police carried out an operation at his home in Harvey River, resulting in the seizure of his motor vehicle, which is now being processed. Reports are that about 9:30 a.m. on Friday, persons went to use a popular public bathing beach located in the vicinity of Ramson's in Redding and discovered Townsend's body floating face down in the water. The police were summoned and Townsend's body was retrieved. A cloth covered in blood and a female wig were also found at the location, while the body had what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the back of the head. Patterson was listed as wanted on May 10 this year on 3 charges stemming from a decade ago, but turned himself into the police. Patterson was being sought by the police for absconding bail. He was to appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on May 31 on charges of murder, attempted murder, and rape, a police source told the news. It appears that the charges were restored after the case was thrown out in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court in 2017 after prosecutors revealed that the primary witness could not be found. In that particular case, it was presented to the court that about 4 a.m. on February 9, 2013, a female and her male partner were walking along Cargill Avenue in St. Andrew when they were accosted by men in a motor car. They were held at gunpoint, and the male tied up and placed in the trunk of the car, and the female placed inside the vehicle. The male victim managed to jump from the moving vehicle but died, while the female was taken to an isolated location, raped, and her throat slashed. She was left for dead but was discovered by a passerby who assisted her to hospital, where she was admitted in critical condition. She recovered and later identified Patterson as one of the men who abducted and attempted to kill her, leading to his arrest and charged. 1 killed, 2 injured in attack near Old Harbor nightclub. A man was shot dead and 2 others injured in an attack near a nightclub in Old Harbor, St. Catherine, early Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as Gerald Moxham, a 30-year-old laborer from Old Harbor and Meepen in Clarendon. Reports are that about 12:45 a.m., Moxham was playing games at a lounge on Oscott Drive in the area. His attacker reportedly entered the establishment and opened fire on him. The 2 other men were shot in the incident. Moxham was pronounced dead at hospital. The injured persons were admitted. The police have not established a motive for the attack. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.